sent it to the ballot, and of course again it was defeated. And then as we know, it did pass on this day 100 years ago. Ironically, and I'll close with this interesting thing, because Oregon is first in a lot of things that people don't know about out there. Oregon led many efforts across the nation. Were the first ones. The Oregon and California story, Oregon California Railroad story turns out to be Oregon started the movement, of course, for popularly elected senators because of the corruption of the ONC lands. But ironically, Governor West, Oswald West at the time, who was a Democrat, here's another tidbit that women's suffrage probably had a big impact on. Shortly after the passage of women's suffrage, Governor Oswald sent his secretary, Fern Hobbs, in command of the Oregon National Guard, female woman commanding the Oregon National Guard at the time, to a notorious boom town called Copperfield in eastern Oregon. And with the declaration of martial law, she closed all the saloons, houses of prostitution, and left the guardsmen to enforce the law. Whoops. So we've come a long way. Having said that, and of course 8 years ago when I came in and Kim came in with me and I was talking about Vicki, I didn't need glasses. And I like to say, you know, with every good man behind them is a better woman. Yeah. And I say that to my wife quite regularly. I would remind you all the same thing that Vicki said to you. Even though we seem to have things great here, we've come 100 years since women's suffrage here, the world as a whole has a long ways to go. And I think even though many people are saying that there's only 24 or 36 hours to the election, it may be a long time before we know some of the results of the elections here in Oregon and in the future. Again, thank you very much for taking time, and thank you for coming. All right, where's Peter? Peter, stay over there.